Hello everyone and welcome to Intermarium, my new channel. So this is the first video I'm making, hopefully not the last one though. And yeah, just a quick introduction. In this channel we'll be touching upon different issues pertaining to mainly politics, societal issues, geopolitics sometimes, and potentially things like leadership, business management, coaching and things like that. In reality, everything that has to do with, modern society, what shapes modern society up, and what relates to, the broader aspects with regards to economy, society, and how people function in general. So, from a political perspective, I would classify myself as a libertarian. As much as I don't like labels, I understand that having some labels, just to try and put some things into context, sometimes can be useful. And to that end, I would define a libertarian, because I understand that depending on the country, the term can be different. For example, if you are pro-capitalism in the United States, some might call you far-right, while in Europe, in continental Europe especially, some might call you, something closer to the center in that sense, while far-right are usually, more national socialistic kind of shit. And yeah, so by libertarian, what I mean basically is that I believe in freedom and individual rights. By freedom it means, any kind of social freedom, no oppression, no religious oppression, no social oppression, so obviously no issue whatsoever with, homosexual rights and things like that, and at the same time, obviously pro-capitalism, free market, and a society where everyone may pursue their own objectives. With that said, the topic of the first video is, it's hard to be a libertarian these days. It really is, because we are living in a world of, increasingly polarizing opinions, and being, let's say, the voice of logic in a way can be way too hard, in the sense that you are attacked and discredited by pretty much all sides. To give you an example, let's talk about immigration and racism. We live in a society where obviously you've got issues with immigrants. I mean, that's undeniable, in the sense that obviously people talk about that just because there are issues. And how do people react to that? The popular trends are two. Either you are, pro open borders and say, no, we are all made from the same blood and all that, and fuck borders and this and that, and there's no problem whatsoever, and the only problem is fascism, bad politicians, I don't know who. Or on the other hand, you've got stuff like far right, who basically say, okay, no immigrants whatsoever. If you the more immigrants you've got, the higher the crime rate, and all that kind of stuff. While if you're a libertarian, for instance, if you speak to a far right and say, you know what, the color of your skin doesn't say anything about, the way you behave or what you've got in your mind, it's just the color of your fucking skin, has nothing to do with that. Oh, then you want open borders, and you want everyone to come in and fuck us up and all that. At the same time, if you go to liberal, those snowflakes who get triggered by everything, and say, hey, look, there is an issue with immigration. I'm not racist. All I'm saying is that, there is an issue in the sense that you cannot change the demographics of a place like super abruptly. At the same time, okay, a race might not be an issue, but some religions might be an issue because they are incompatible with our civilization, like Islam. Okay, how can you welcome so many people who don't believe in gay rights, who don't believe in gender equality? No, if you just say that there's something incompatible, in both cases, neither side wants to discuss with you. You're just, attacked and discredited. And basically the same goes for other issues, such as homosexuality. If you say, for example, you know what, I don't have any issues with homosexuals, which should be quite obvious in the sense that, okay, what you do in your bed is obviously not my fucking business. Then you've got the far-right people saying, hey, you know what, you want our society to get degenerate and, you don't have any values and this and that, and you are sick and you are twisted. At the same time, if you say, okay, yes, I'm in favor of gay rights, even kid adoption and all that, but I don't believe that gay people are oppressed in the West. They are in Saudi Arabia, they are in Iran, they are in Russia, in many countries. But in my opinion, not in the West. And for that reason, I don't see any value in, gay pride and all that kind of stuff. I actually find it rather ridiculous. Then all of a sudden, no, you don't understand, and you're part of the patriarchy, and you don't understand, and you are an oppressor, you are privileged, and blah blah blah. So again, you are attacked by both sides for pretty much the same matter, just because you want to discuss. Same goes, for instance, for climate change. You've got two popular opinions nowadays. On the one hand, you've got climate change deniers, like climate change is a hoax made by China and that kind of shit, which is obviously ridiculous. And on the other hand, you've got climate change crusaders, the Greta movement and all that, saying that this is basically the biggest problem of our society, and unless we address that, we are pretty much fucked. While the reality is, again, somewhere in between, and I'm more than happy to make another video about climate change, because that is actually my main occupation in that sense. I mean, I'm an energy systems analyst, and I know quite well what's happening in that sphere, like climate change mitigation, what are the trade-offs with regards to addressing climate change, and how it could impact the economy and society. And based on that, I tend to believe that there are more commonalities with regards to liberals and far-right extremists than differences, in the sense that they both label you fairly easily based on certain criteria that they've got. They both judge people based on some group characteristics, and for the most part, those group characteristics are the same, for both sides. So they will make an opinion about you based on whether you are homosexual, based on whether you are black or not, whatever. And in the vast majority of cases, for instance, you have a liberal, they will make an opinion about X person based on identity politics. Oh, you're black, so you have to feel oppressed, or you have to feel this, or you have to feel that. And then the same goes for far-right people. So as you can see, both sides have applied the exact same criteria for the same matters, for the same subjects, and basically they form an opinion fairly easily, rather than seeing, individuals and judging people by what they've got in their fucking head and heart, which is arguably the most important thing. And if you're a libertarian out there, believe me, I know very well what you have to put up with on a daily basis, because logic is basically lost. There's no common sense, and again, in an era of increasingly polarizing opinions, it's not so easy to figure out whether there's some sense in our society, and whether there are people who are genuinely keen on discussing a matter with no taboos, and formulating an objective opinion based on facts. So yes, I guess that was that with regards to the first video. I would say at this point that I'm always up for debates. Therefore, if you have an opinion on any subject and you feel like you would like to discuss that, in a civil manner, of course, then just, hit me up and let me know, and we can fix it up fairly easily. I don't care about what kind of opinions you got, as long as, you can discuss in a proper manner. That's key for me. So, yeah, before closing, I guess, the YouTube drill. As a YouTuber, I reckon I cannot escape my fate. So yeah, if you like this video, just click the notification button, subscribe, and whatever. I'll get more used to that if I make more videos. Okay, that was it for now. Thank you very much. Bye.